So you guys all know that I love wrestling. Duh, that's already been established. But one of the things you don't know about me is that I love Taco Bell. Now, Taco Bell is not sponsoring this video, but they should. Hey, Taco Bell, call me. Anyway, today I'm going to be tier ranking every single WrestleMania main event on the Taco Bell sauce packet scale, which means that it is going to be between mild being the lowest, hot, fire, and Diablo. So let's get to it. Kicking things off with WrestleMania 40 Night 1 main event. The Bloodline defeating Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. So much happened in this matchup that even though it was like 40-something minutes long, because of all of the shenanigans and everything that unfolded, this was sports entertainment at its finest. And so for that reason, I gotta kick it off high, guys. I am giving this the Diablo ranking. WrestleMania Night 2, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes officially finishes his story. There ain't no way in hell that this is not ranked in the Diablo category. WrestleMania 39 in my hometown of Los Angeles, Night 1 main event, the tag team match between the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. One of the most coolest moments seeing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn raising up those tag team belts. This was definitely a Diablo rating. Night 2. Roman Reigns defeating Cody Rhodes in one of the most shocking endings to WrestleMania. I hated it then. I could not believe that they did Cody dirty. Of course, later on, things finally got back to the way they were supposed to be, and it led to Cody Rhodes finishing his story. However, at that time and moment, I thought, oh, hells no. No, they did not. I cannot betray past Denise and her feelings about that. So I am ranking this one in the fire category. Now, some of you guys are going to be like, dang you, Denise, curse you. Fire is good enough. WrestleMania 38 Night 1 main event. Stone Cold Steve Austin defeating Kevin Owens in a no-holds-barred match. This was so freaking cool that we got to see Stone Cold Steve Austin return for another match. So this one is an automatic Diablo, not only because of Austin, but the fact that we also got a very entertaining matchup. Diablo all the way. Night 2, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 38. Winner take all match. We have seen Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar wrestle a whole lot to the point where almost every single Roman Brock match to me is a big giant blur. Like they're all combined. This one did not stick out to me as much as some other WrestleMania main events. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one the hot packet. WrestleMania 37. Night 1 main event, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. This was the first time that we saw two black women main event WrestleMania, and people were so excited for this match. You had Sasha Banks, who is such a big star in WWE with such a strong fan base. You had Bianca Belair, who is the rising star and has gone on to accomplish so freaking much and has one of the best string of matches in WrestleMania for the women. I 100% gotta give this the Diablo packet. Night 2 of WrestleMania 37, we saw a triple threat match with Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan. I've always said that I was such a big fan of this match. I thought it was such a good wrestling match. I love three-ways. Do not take that out of context, but I think you can have a lot of fun and do a lot of different things. And I feel like they did just that in this main event. And plus we had the double pin. I really enjoyed it for what it was. I gotta give it a Diablo. WrestleMania 36. This one is tough because this is the COVID era of WrestleMania. Night 1, we had a cinematic match, which was the Undertaker's last match with AJ Styles. And this was a boneyard match. Now, this was totally different than any of the matches you're going to hear me talk about today in this video. This was done so well, and the storytelling was so great in the cinematic world. I thought this was one of the best, if not the best cinematic match WWE did. So I got to give it the Diablo packets. Dang, all these Diablos, guys. Our stomach's going to be rumbling. However, the Night 2 main event, we saw Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. And I feel so bad to this day that Drew McIntyre got such a big match and it didn't happen in front of any people. It wasn't terrible or bad or anything like that. It just wasn't that memorable, at least not to me. So I'm so sorry, but I gotta give this the mild packet. And then on top of that, they did the whole thing with the Big Show afterwards. Why did they even do that? I don't even remember what the hell the reasoning for that was, but let's just keep it going. That's neither here nor there. WrestleMania 35, we saw the first ever women's main event. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, with Becky Lynch walking out at the end of the night with both belts. This was the first women's main event, and as a woman, I definitely feel very strongly about this one. I know that the ending was not the way that, they had hoped it would go. There was a little bit of a botch at the end, but I was still so enthralled in the actual matchup. I was so excited about it being the first women's WrestleMania main event. Unfortunately, the ending does take a little away from it, so I can't give it my Diablo rating. So I will give it next up in the fire category. WrestleMania 34, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. I told you, I see these all as a blur. They're the same long match to me. To me, every Roman Brock match is just a very, very, very long one. I remember being in the crowd for this and the crowd not really digging it. I think that did take away a lot from the matchup, but everybody that watched it on TV really enjoyed what they saw on the TV side of it. I didn't even think it was the best match of the night. So unfortunately, guys, don't hate me. I got to give it the mild rating. WrestleMania 33, Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker. So when I think about the collection of matches that The Undertaker has had at WrestleMania, there are a lot of them that just really instantly stand out at me. Unfortunately, this isn't one of those matches that instantly I think of when I think about The Undertaker's WrestleMania matches. So I gotta put this one in the mild category. WrestleMania 32, Roman Reigns, Triple H. This match just went on a really, really long time, and long matches don't necessarily mean that they are good. So unfortunately, I gotta give this one the mild packet. WrestleMania 31, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, with Seth Rollins cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase successfully. That was one of the coolest WrestleMania moments to watch. I was so thrilled when it happened. That pop when Seth Rollins ran out there, there was so much energy in that building. I went home feeling like I watched a pretty damn good show with a pretty damn good ending. So I do got to give this one the Diablo sauce packet. WrestleMania 30. Yes, yes, yes. Daniel Bryan wins the World Heavyweight Championship when he defeats Batista and Randy Orton in his second match of the night. I am a big Daniel Bryan fan. Always have been since his indie days. I was on board with the yes movement. Give it a dang Diablo because Daniel Bryan deserved that championship. Alrighty, WrestleMania 29, The Rock versus John Cena. This is the one where Rock tore like a million muscles, unfortunately. So it didn't go so great for The Rock on that one. Because it's John Cena and The Rock and they're such big stars. Of course, I think the promos were a lot more entertaining than the physical matchup, but I can't rank this one so low because again, it's two really big stars. So I'm going to go ahead and be nice and I'm going to give it the hot sauce packet. And with that being said, I think you can figure out the rating that I'm going to give for the WrestleMania 28 match. And of course, that was The Rock and John Cena again. Also, the hot sauce packet. WrestleMania 27, The Miz defeats John Cena with the help of The Rock. I gotta give this one the mild sauce packet, man. I wasn't that interested then, and even thinking about it now, I was like, let me go back and even remember what the hell went down with this. WrestleMania 26. Now, if you are a regular here on my channel, you already know what I'm going to say. So say it with me, guys. Diablo, Diablo, Diablo. Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, streak versus career. I mean, the amount of times that I have put this match over, I can't even begin to say. I'm pretty sure you can find several videos here on this channel of me talking and breaking down this matchup. I loved it. What can I say? It was one of the best WrestleMania matches I've ever seen. I was so invested, jumping up and down, that kind of reaction. WrestleMania 25, Triple H defeated Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. So here's the thing, when I think of WrestleMania 25, I have to keep reminding myself that The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels were not the main event because that was the best match of the night. That was my favorite match between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, but that's not the main event, so we're not talking about it here. It was Triple H and Randy. And here's the thing, I actually did like this match, I like the story of the match. I didn't like that it took away some momentum from Randy at this point, because this was like, he was red hot here. I think Randy should have won. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give this one the fire sauce packet. WrestleMania 24, The Undertaker defeats Edge. Oh, this is the one where Charles Robinson runs down the ring really fast. Yes, that's the first thing that pops into my mind. All right. I did enjoy this main event. Edge was really trying to, defeat The Undertaker. Obviously, it didn't happen that way for him, but this was still a very fine matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and give it the hot sauce packet. WrestleMania 23, John Cena defeating Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship. This was nearly a 30-minute match that just felt like a major, massive moment for John Cena. I loved this match between him and Shawn Michaels. I gotta give it the fire sauce packet. WrestleMania 22, John Cena defeats Triple H. I hate to say this, but this is one that I have very little memory of. So that means it didn't really make a huge mark in my life when I watched this. And mind you, I just rewatched every single WrestleMania not too long ago. So I gotta give this one the mild sauce packet. WrestleMania 21, Batista wins the World Heavyweight Championship from Triple H. A massive moment for Batista. I was a big Batista fan growing up, so seeing him hold up the title, I still recall that imagery. It wasn't the best match of the night. You all know which one I think it was, but I still gotta give this one the fire sauce packet. WrestleMania 20, Chris Benoit defeats Triple H and Shawn Michaels. A very well done triple threat match. I gotta give it the fire sauce packet. Next up, we have a WrestleMania 19 main event between Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle. Now, even though we all remember the shooting star press that did not go the way that we wanted it to go, but regardless of that, that was still a really great wrestling match. I would not be able to give this one anything less than a Diablo sauce packet right here. Little Denise was freaking the hell out during this match. WrestleMania 18, Triple H defeats Chris Jericho. At this time, Chris Jericho was my favorite wrestler on the entire planet. But I think we all know that the real main event here for this WrestleMania was The Rock and Hogan. I don't think that Jericho and Triple H as the main event matched that energy. So for that reason, even though it was a fine main event, but it was overshadowed by Rock and Hogan, I gotta give this one fire sauce packet. WrestleMania 17, Stone Cold and The Rock. Just give WrestleMania 17 the whole dang Diablo packet, guys. All of it. This was a fun matchup, a fun night, just in general. Diablo packet, just take it. Come on, let's go. Let's keep it moving. Alrighty, WrestleMania 16. Triple H with Stephanie McMahon in his corner. The Rock with Mr. McMahon in his corner. Mick Foley with Linda in his corner. And The Big Show with Shane McMahon in his corner. In a fatal four-way for the WWF Championship. I mean, this was sports entertainment shenanigans. I was actually thoroughly entertained. I can't really lie. Even watching it back, I was still entertained. So I'm going to go ahead and give it the hot sauce packet. WrestleMania 15, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. This is one that I thoroughly enjoyed going back and watching. Of course, this was for the WWF Championship. Anytime we got Rock and Austin, I become pudding. We got to give it the Diablo. WrestleMania 14, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels, with Austin defeating him for the WWF Championship with Mike Tyson as a special ring enforcer. This was so freaking cool because the difference between the reaction that Austin had when he first came out at WrestleMania 13 to the reaction that he had after when he came out during this match here, oh my god, night and day difference. Because of course that WrestleMania 13 match that he had with Brett was like a star-making performance, and so he went into WrestleMania 14 and just had a whole different vibe, right? Like people were just losing their shit for Austin. Him and Shawn Michaels have a badass match. Everybody just remembers all those images with Mike Tyson and everything that involves that. It's Diablo all the way. WrestleMania 13. Unfortunately, we're not here to talk about Brett and Austin as much as I would love to, but hey, I talk about it in other videos. But the main event for this show was The Undertaker defeating Psycho Sid. This really was not the greatest match, so I gotta give it a mild. WrestleMania 12, the boyhood dream comes true. We had Shawn Michaels defeating Bret Hart in a 60-minute Iron Man match for the WWF Championship. Of course, course, an iconic matchup with an iconic ending, seeing Shawn Michaels celebrate his championship victory. This is Diablo all the way. WrestleMania 11, we had a celebrity main event with Lawrence Taylor defeating Bam Bam Bigelow in what was a very entertaining matchup to see. Like, even going back and rewatching this, I thoroughly had a good time just like seeing what they were gonna do. So I gotta give this one the fire sauce packet. WrestleMania 10, we had Bret Hart defeating Yokozuna for the WWF Championship with Roddy Piper as a special guest referee. Unfortunately, this wasn't the strongest matchups of the night. Bret Hart had a better matchup earlier in the day with Owen Hart, and then of course we had that iconic ladder match. So there was just a million things that were better on this show. So I gotta give it the mild sauce packet. WrestleMania 9. So technically, okay, this one gets a little complicated because the main event is Yokozuna versus Bret Hart. But after Yokozuna wins, Hulk Hogan comes out there. Mr. Fuji ends up issuing a challenge. Hogan then gets in there and defeats Yokozuna in like 20-something seconds for the WWF Championship. This is Hogan being Hogan. So I'm just going to combine it all together as the main event, and I'm gonna have to give it the mild sauce packet here. Sorry. WrestleMania 8, we had Hulk Hogan defeat Sid Justice. This was just not a good match whatsoever. It's gotta go in the mild sauce packet. WrestleMania 7, Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter for the WWF Championship. This was when they were doing the Iraqi sympathizer gimmick. This was literally just Sergeant Slaughter bumping for Hulk Hogan. There was a whole lot of nothing. This goes in the mild rating. WrestleMania 6, the Ultimate Warrior defeating Hulk Hogan. The crowd was super, super hot for this. Hogan actually allowed the Ultimate Warrior to get a massive victory here. Even raises his arm afterwards and gives him a hug. This is definitely a match that I think a lot of people remember. It's harder for me to rate matches of the past when I didn't watch them live than it is for the matches that I did watch live. But I try to put myself in that time frame and try to adjust my opinions based off of that. So I am going to go ahead and give this one a Diablo sauce packet for what it was at the time. WrestleMania 5, Hulk Hogan defeats Macho Man Randy Savage for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. There weren't very many things that I liked on this specific WrestleMania, so this was definitely one of the more exciting matches, but it's not so much that I could rate it super highly, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it the hot sauce packet. WrestleMania 4, Macho Man Randy Savage defeats Ted DiBiase in the tournament finals for the vacant WWF World Heavyweight Championship. The best moment was seeing Macho Man win. The match itself was whatever, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this the mild sauce packet. WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Of course, this is an iconic match in WWE history. The scene, the moment where Hulk Hogan body slams Andre the Giant, leg drop, that was massive because of what it was at the time and the amount of times we've seen that moment play out multiple times. We've seen it. WWE has shown it a million zillion times. I do got to give this one the Diablo rating for what it was at the time. WrestleMania 2, Hulk Hogan defeats King Kong Bundy in a steel cage match. I did like to see Hulk Hogan like ramming King Kong Bundy into the cage, seeing him bleed and all of that. But at the end of the day, there still wasn't too much for me to say, oh my God, this was an amazing matchup. Definitely not. So I got to give it the mild ranking. And then WrestleMania 1, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T defeating Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper. Oh, and with Muhammad Ali and Pat Patterson as special guest referee. This was actually my least favorite match of the night from WrestleMania 1. So I feel bad giving it a mild because it was, you know, the first WrestleMania main event, but it just really didn't do much for me. So it's got to go in the mild category. I'm sorry. Do not hate me. So there you have it. Every single WrestleMania main event ranked by the Taco Bell sauce packet scale. All right. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments section below. And hey, if you think Taco Bell should sponsor me too and have them holler at your girl, please tag them and let them know that I did this video. Plus, also do not forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, you can check out this one right here because this is the one that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy the most based on the videos that you've already watched. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.